Creamsicle's story begins outside, in late May, when he was born into a colony of community cats. Luckily for Creamsicle, this colony of 27 cats and kittens was being fed by friendly volunteers, but none of them were spayed or neutered. The colony volunteers reached out to MRFRS in July for help in fixing all the cats and a large trapping effort to catch the felines, including Creamsicle. All 27 felines were brought to MRFRS's Sunday Trap Neuter Return Clinic so they could be spayed or neutered and receive vaccines. The Sunday clinics run 9 times each year and are 100% staffed by volunteers committed to preventing feline overpopulation and the suffering it causes. To date, the clinics have spayed and neutered over 15,000 cats. Now it was Creamsicle's turn to be seen by the veterinary team. He seemed a little unsure and wanted his friend in the trap to go first. The first step for all clinic cats is to be safely sedated, and Creamsicle is soon fast asleep. After being examined by the veterinarian, it's determined that Creamsicle is too small and is not quite ready to be neutered. The decision is made to keep him in foster care for the next few weeks. This is when Creamsicle first meets Patricia.
The first time that I saw Creamsicle was actually by the end of the clinic, which is really weird because I usually have like a magnet for kittens. The moment I know there are kittens, it's like, let me go and see them and cuddle him and all of that. And then one of the volunteers came with something in a towel, and she is like, this kitten was like way too young to be neutered and he needs to stay with somebody, like looking at me, with somebody until he's like old enough to be neutered. And I saw this tiny kitten like wrapped in a towel, still like totally out of it because he had been sedated and everything. And I saw him and I was like, I mean, I have to. And I think I made the decision before I called you. I mean, I just called you to let you know that, okay, we are gonna get one more kitten. The day I got Creamsicle, I mean, I knew that he was not gonna be feeling his best because he had been, well, first the trip, very long trip from Vermont, very stressful. He had been at the clinic, he had been like under anesthesia, so I knew that he was not gonna be like very cheerful and playful and all of that. But I was still a little bit concerned because it's like, I know how kittens act and he should be feeling better by now. But then next day, when I went to check on him, he was still in the same position. He hadn't moved. He was like not responding at all. And then I heard like this cough. He was just like coughing and it was like almost like kind of like very like wet kind of. And you could tell that he was struggling like breathing. He couldn't even meow. He was not even able to keep his head up. And in that moment I was like, this is no good. So I'm just started like calling people because it's like he needs to be seen by a vet, like right away. Market River Feline Rescue Society, they were really supportive. They told me anything he needs, just let us know. We'll get the care that he needs. So that gave me a lot of peace of mind knowing that I had, you know, like that support and that they were gonna be also like helping me to help the kitten. And through them, I actually got in contact with one of our volunteer veterinarians that volunteer with us at the TNR clinics, Dr. Richards. And she was like, yeah, sure, just bring the kitten in. So the exam was very scary because his lungs we did x-rays, his lungs didn't look good. It was like a lot of matter in the lungs. We didn't know whether it was fluid or whether it was even parasites, but it was not looking good for him. That day after that appointment, I was really dreading to go into the room to check on him because at that point he was so sick that I really feared that he was not gonna make it. But he did, and he already like looked like more awake. So I knew that this could be a potential foster failure like very early on. Yes, because I think I developed a special bond with him just through the healing process. This is kind of personal, but I know what it is like to be like really sick and not having anybody to help you out during that process. The initial plan was, once he's like all good, to bring him back to the clinic, to neuter him, and then he will be put for adoption. But I just thinking about it, it was bringing tears to my eyes. I was like, I don't even want to think about it. But on the other hand, I knew we already have so many cats, and I promised him that I was not going to ask to keep any other cats.
They're really growing up with you, and you get bonded very quickly with kittens especially. So we had the opportunity to help out and foster 4 kittens from another rescue, and we took that, and I don't know that we have the capacity to take on 4 more cats. So that was kind of the promise. And then Creamsicle happened. Could see the bond that she was developing with him, like a mission, like we are going to save this cat. And you know, I'm totally aligned with that. And then one night when he was starting to feel a little bit better, you know, we were both very happy, very encouraged. I was actually laying down on this couch. I don't remember if I was watching TV or what, but she just brought Creamsicle out and put him next to me. And he was just laying next to me and then like headbutting my face and purring, and he didn't want to move. He didn't want to run away. He just wanted to be next to me, and I think we bonded at that point in time, and I was like, we lost.
So I started volunteering with Merrimack River Field and Rescue Society 9 years ago. I got involved first with the TNR programs at the TNR clinics. It takes care of the cats, but also takes care of the humans taking care of the cats. So I felt like very supported, cared for, and loved by people in this rescue group.
And that's the story of Creamsicle, and how his life was positively changed thanks to the many people who support MRFRS's programs and mission.